Welcome to my YouTube channel where I simplify the web. In this video, the part 12 of my CSS Pseudo Classes Explained series, I'll be simplifying the not pseudo class. The not pseudo class allows you to specify selectors for elements that should not be matched. What do I mean by this? Now, have you ever tried matching some elements, but you also want to specify exceptions? For example, we have these three paragraphs here, and this is the code for it. We have P paragraph 1, P paragraph 2, and we have P paragraph 3, but this third paragraph has the default class. Now let's say you want to style all P elements. So let's say in this CSS here you have P, you want to style all P elements, but you want to exempt this third P element with the default class. Now how do you do this? Now, one way you might think of doing it can be something like this. Let's say we have font size 30 pixels, and then here we have color red. Now we have all the P tags with this font size and this color style declaration, but because we want to exempt this default class, then we can come here, we can say dot default, which is targeting the element by the class, and then we can say font size initial, which means we return it to the default, and then we can say color initial. And if we come here and we check this result, you can see the first paragraph and the second paragraph has this styling, but because for the default class we specify this, you can see this one has the default styles. Now how can you approve a CSS code like this? There are different ways you can do it, but in this video I'll be showing you how to use the not pseudo class to improve this. Like I said, the not pseudo class allows you to specify a list of selectors so that you can specify the element you want to exempt from your styling. So in this P element, since I want to exempt the P element with the default class, I can come here on the P element, I can use the not pseudo class, and in here I can specify different selectors. Here I specify the default class selector. Now I can clear all of this. Now what does this mean? Here we have our P and then we have this style. By using this not, that means it's going to match every P tag element except the P tags with the default class. If I come back here and I refresh, you can see it's the same thing. This one does not have the default class, it is styled. This one does not have the default class, it is styled. But this one has the default class, so it is not styled. Now there are different advanced ways you can use the not pseudo class. Let me show you another example. So I'm going to come here, I'll comment this here, and I'm going to uncomment this. We have a div, and this div has two children, a button element and a P element. Let me even add something else. Let me add a span element and say span. Let me also add a strong element and also say strong. And this is the result here. We have the button, we have the P, we have the span, and we have the strong. And let's say we want to style every child of the div element, but with some exceptions. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to say div, and then with the children combinator, if I want to style an element that is the child of another element, I can give a space. So by saying div and asterisk, that means it's going to style every child in this div. So here, let's say I say font size 40 pixels, color blue, and maybe text decoration on the line like this. Now if I come here and I refresh, you can see all the children have been styled. What if I want to exempt some children? Let's say I want to exempt the span. Then I can come here, instead of using this asterisk, I can just use the not pseudo class. And in this not pseudo class, since I've given this space here, which means descendant combinator, here I can specify the descendants that I don't want to include in the styling. Now by including the span, by using the tag name selector, if I come here and I refresh, you can see all the children of the div element are styled the way we want except the span. If I come here, I can also specify multiple selectors. You can either specify multiple selectors by using the not like this. Again, let's say I say not and button, so not span, not button. If I come here and I refresh, you can see both of them are exempted. Or I can just use a comma and add the button here like this. If I come here and I refresh, you can see it's the same thing. So I can apply a number of selectors that I want to exclude from the styling. Like I said, you can use the not pseudo class in advanced ways. You can even do something like not, and then you can use another pseudo class like hover or active. Yeah, you can do a bunch of things, but this is how you can write cleaner code with the not pseudo class for exempting elements that you don't want to style. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and also turn on notifications for more pseudo classes I'll be explaining in this series.